Freud, often hailed as the father of psychoanalysis, proposed that the human psyche is divided into three parts: the ID, the ego, and the superego. Each of these components plays a crucial role in shaping our thoughts, actions, and interactions with the world around us. Let's begin with the ID. The ID represents the most primitive part of our psyche. It is present from birth and operates entirely within the unconscious. The ID is driven by the pleasure principle, seeking immediate gratification for our most basic and instinctual desires, such as hunger, thirst, and sexual impulses. It is impulsive, irrational, and does not consider the consequences of its actions. Imagine a newborn baby crying for food. That is the ID in its purest form, demanding satisfaction without delay. Next, we have the ego. The ego develops as we grow and begin to interact with the external world. It operates on the reality principle, striving to mediate the demands of the ID with the constraints of reality. The ego is the rational part of our psyche, making decisions based on reason and logic. It considers the consequences of actions and seeks to balance the immediate desires of the ID with the moral and ethical standards of the superego. The ego essentially serves as the executive, managing the impulses of the ID while navigating the practicalities of the real world. Finally, we come to the superego. The superego emerges around the age of 5 and is largely influenced by our parents, caregivers, and societal norms. It represents the moral and ethical component of our psyche. The superego is divided into two parts: the conscience, which punishes us with feelings of guilt and shame for wrongdoing, and the ego ideal, which rewards us with feelings of pride and self-worth for adhering to moral standards. The superego strives for perfection, pushing us to achieve our highest ideals and adhere to societal rules. These three elements, the ID, ego, and superego, are in a constant state of dynamic interaction. The ID demands immediate gratification, the superego imposes moral restrictions, and the ego attempts to reconcile these opposing forces. This interplay can often lead to internal conflict and anxiety, which Freud believed were at the heart of many psychological issues. For example, consider a scenario where you are on a strict diet but find yourself craving a piece of chocolate cake. The ID is the voice urging you to indulge in the cake immediately for instant pleasure. The superego, on the other hand, reminds you of your commitment to your diet and the importance of self-control and discipline. The ego steps in to mediate, perhaps suggesting a compromise, such as having a small piece of cake now and compensating with extra exercise later. Freud's model not only provides a framework for understanding individual behavior but also offers a lens through which we can examine broader social and cultural phenomena. It helps us comprehend the complexities of human motivation, the roots of our conflicts, and the ways in which we navigate the moral landscape of our lives. Thank you for listening. Nathaniel.